When Chicago opened its mass vaccination site at the United Center, it was hailed as a game changer in the city's effort to get shots into the arms of residents in large numbers.
Yeah, but since then, we have learned that the UC site hasn't quite lived up to its billing, especially for people who live in some of the harder hit communities on the south side and the west side. Right now, we've got 25th Ward Alderman Byron Sigcho-Lopez, and he is leading the charge to change that. He joins us this morning live. Good morning. Thank you so much for coming on.
Good morning, Anita. Thank you. Thank you. So good to see you.
So
Good to see you.
you're not happy about, well, not happy, but you'd like to see things move a little quicker, and you want to get these shots into the arms of people who live in your community. And you want to spend $180 million in stimulus money to open up more of these sites. Where would you like to see them go?
Well, we need to make sure that the vaccination sites, permanent vaccination sites, are closer to our constituents. That's why we've seen for months the issue of inequality in the vaccination process, where seniors, people with disabilities, are having a hard time, and people are afraid of taking public transportation. People have serious issues of attending these mass sites, and what we've been saying for months, that all good research we've been working with previous commissioners of public health indicates that we are more effective when we bring vaccination closer to our constituents in senior sites and in churches and field parks. That's what we've seen has been working, but unfortunately, there's still no plan from the Chicago Department of Public Health.
Well, Alderman, you've been highly critical of the rollout, particularly after the scandal at Loretto Hospital, and you maintain that city-run sites would be better. Why so?
Well, absolutely. I mean, what we've seen time after time with the scandals, not only with Loretto Hospital, we just recently saw a CPS contractor misplacing as many as 6,000 vaccines. We need to have more oversight. We need to have more accountability. Yesterday, in a hearing with the Health and Human Relations Committee, the commissioner couldn't explain how we're auditing these sites, how we're making sure that we are indeed respecting the phases, making sure that we're prioritizing essential workers, seniors, especially in the communities who are hardest hit. And she couldn't explain basic information, and the numbers are very telling. Right now, at this point, 27% of people have been vaccinated in the Gold Coast, in communities like the Gold Coast, and only 5% in communities like Englewood. We have serious issues that need to be addressed, and we do have a plan that we have presented to the City Council. Unfortunately, administration seems to be unwilling to discuss this.
Wow, I did not realize there was that much disparity in the areas and in the shots that were given. Now, your ordinance would also create some community health promoters. You also want these vaccine brigades to educate and vaccinate the people who live in your community. Is that what you would like to see, and how would that work?
Absolutely. I mean, what we've seen, and unfortunately, in communities like Pilsen, even during Senior Week, there being people on the side, volunteers who said that they did not have even enough volunteers who speak Spanish. And that's what we've seen. The language barrier it is a real issue, transportation and so forth. What we want to make sure is in our sites, like the one that we had during the Senior Week in Harrison Park, in Fieldhouse, churches, we need to make sure that we bring vaccination closer to constituents. We know that that's what works, that curbs inequality, and that's what get us to make sure that there's accountability. I'm really concerned about the process without any oversight. Yesterday was really concerning to hear the commissioner not having any oversight. And we know that sites that are accountable to the public health sites, where we have community support and outreach on the community, will have better outreach that we haven't seen. We have been seeing how vaccines even go to the suburbs and other places when we have a dire need in our communities. We believe that accountability and transparency, and now that we have at least $8 billion potentially fund the $8 billion from the federal government, we need to make sure that we don't see the scandals time after time in the press, when we know what good research shows in terms of vaccination. Yep. And how we can do this equitably and transparently.
We got to leave it there, Alderman. 25th Ward Alderman Byron Sigcho-Lopez. Thank you so much, Alderman, for expressing your concerns this morning. Appreciate it.
Thank you.